You may be aware that...
drive it over, especially after there's been no evidence reviewed and the complaint hasn't even been assessed, and especially hand deliver it to my door, or is it another request that you're phoning me up for today?
Yeah, it's something completely different, Brody.
Is it totally legitimate, or?
If I just explain why I'm calling, we've had a phone call from your brother. Yes. Have you been in touch with him recently?
Yeah, a little while ago. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
he's being held against his will and abused by some criminals, as you're probably aware.
Right. Which brother is this? Just to confirm we got the right brother.
Connor McLeod.
Right. Okay. Connor's been in contact with us.
Some people have been telling him to make several police reports to try and sort of add legitimacy to the fact that he's being very, very seriously abused and is in a lot of danger at the moment. A lot of it is sort of a subterfuge. They've been telling him to try and report a Facebook page, which he's been trying to claim that Avon and Somerset Police are very interested in investigating his Facebook page. He was involved in, he's been being physically tortured and mutilated. He's been to hospital on several occasions, and he was involved in a break into my house just recently, which he's been censored to not reveal details of. And there's been several times where he's been he completely changed his narrative very, very obviously recently. We've got a library of telephone calls with him where you can hear that he's being physically abused and is in a great deal of pain and is wildly changing his narrative. You can also hear there's third parties in the background and what sounds like firearms being discharged as well. These people are dangerous, and he's in.
We'll obviously try and get back. We'll obviously
a lot of the crime report.
Try and get back in touch with him.
Yeah, unfortunately, obviously, he's in a situation whereby if he reveals that to you, he's going to put himself into a lot of danger. And I'd appreciate it if you're concerned about his welfare, I'd appreciate if you kept it private. I would like to keep that as an anonymous report. I wouldn't share my details with him if you do.
Initially. Brody, initially, I'm calling to check that everything's okay with you.
I'm absolutely fine. Yes, I've had a visit from some police. 3 occasions in the last week or so. It's been a little bit unusual, PC Dudley. It's very, very atypical. But I had some police which turned up at my property. I think it was yourself a few days ago.
It was me. I knocked on your door yesterday with a colleague, and a bit earlier on this afternoon, I knocked on your door as well.
Oh, you came. That was you that arrived yesterday, was it?
Yes, with a colleague. Yeah, about what time was it? About 2 o'clock, I suppose. No, it might have been even before that.
Right. Okay. What was the badge number of your colleague that you were with? Was that a lady?
No, it was a police sergeant I was with.
Oh, right, okay. There was some other police that turned up at my property. A couple of, I think it was a day or so before. I think it was on the 6th.
They probably did because
it was really, really strange. My closed circuit television, I don't know what happened to it, but the hard drive just suddenly stopped working. I don't know if the electricity tripped or something. And literally within 3 minutes of the whole system going down, I got a knock at the door. It was quite an unusual vehicle. It was it looked almost like a canine unit or a dog van. I haven't really seen one like it before. And as soon as they arrived at the door, they left. I mean, I looked out the door. Actually looked like the lady was carrying a firearm. Looked to be like a non-standard police issue firearm. I don't know if that's just my naive knowledge of police equipment.
I doubt very much that it was.
I'd be really interested to show you the footage actually, because it was just really, really strange. I don't know. I'm sure they were genuine police officers, and I'm sure they had nothing.
Yeah, there were. Yeah. When I called yesterday, I wasn't the first officer to call at your door over the past few days because, as I say, we'd had contact from your brother, and we just needed to check that everything was okay with you. But if you're telling me that you're fine, we can pursue things with your brother. So we'll leave it at that for now, Brody. Thanks for speaking to me today. So
I'm very interested to know what it is that you're concerned about in terms of speaking to me.
Well, it was a case of again, we'd had this call from your brother, and it was a case of is there anything that you need to make us aware of?
So what did my brother say?
Well, I can't.
Well, you don't have to give an allegorical, verbatim report, but I'm just interested. What was the general gist of it? I mean, what were his concerns? told me that he was contacting the police, and that he'd been having a discourse with Avon and Somerset police because he told them that somebody had stolen my Facebook password and had been messaging to people, and he tried to lead me to believe that the police were very interested in investigating my stolen Facebook password, and that they were even going to come out and meet with me. And I told him that this was completely absurd, that the police wouldn't ever deal with social media, and certainly wouldn't be making a trip to go and visit and investigate a crime that hasn't happened in a social media password. When I mentioned it to him that was completely absurd and unrealistic, he then tried to claim that aside from the police who had initially insisted on speaking to me and insisted that I must contact them, had then said that they were not going to speak to me as the victim of the crime, and then we're going to speak through him, which is completely fabricated. Claim out.
Essentially, it was.
He's then backtracked on that narrative, and just basically, because I said that was complete horseshit, because it was. What's then happened is that nothing further has come of that. He's claimed that the police have tried to contact me on more than one occasion, but they haven't had any contact from the police at all, which is because he never contacted the police, and it was just an attempt to try and get me, for one reason or another, to contact them regarding this. That letter from Chris Tapley, that was really unusual. Where did you actually get that one from?
From Chris Tapley. He asked me to deliver it to you. Okay.
And he asked you specifically, he asked you to drive that over from Ashburton rather than putting it in the post.
I think because I know for a certain amount of time, Royal Mail weren't delivering to your house. Were they? Was that the case? Or are they on now? I really don't know.
The Royal Mail do deliver to my house, yes, but only. Sorry, I still get post to my address, but I have to pick it up from the sorting of it. But it does still make its way over there. But I can understand if there was some confusion that it wouldn't be sent.
Yes, that was why it was essentially it was hand delivered to make sure that you got it. So it was as simple as that.
Yeah, it just seemed a little bit unusual because the way that when you gentlemen sort of arrived, it was a little bit of a strange circumstance. I did get a call from I think I did speak with Mr. Tapley, and I think he did invite me over to Totnes because he wanted to go and discuss the complaint, which apparently is rooted via professional standards rather than being crime, as Joe Miles had agreed with her investigating officer. And then coincidentally, he told me that this crime, which you've prudently delivered a letter to help to this police professional standard complaint, if you delivered a letter to help to investigate, apparently the evidence hadn't even been reviewed since sort of February 2018 or whenever I handed in the evidence. So that was a little bit remiss. But in terms of my welfare, I'm interested to know what it was that Connor reported, because I've had several visits from the police, and I'm just interested to know what it was.
Yeah, it was. I think you've obviously had conversations with your brother. So in that respect,
to him since yesterday. I spoke to him yesterday. He said he was at St. Mark's Market in Bristol.
Right. So in that respect, you've got more knowledge of what he's saying than I have, because I haven't spoken to him directly.
I don't.
And it was
what
just,
did he say?
As I say, I haven't spoken to him directly. But
who did?
You have. But it was in relation.
Who did speak to him and when?
Some of my colleagues.
Which one of your colleagues?
Brody, I'm going to end the phone call now because I've had the conversation with you.
I'm just interested to know, because I'm interested to know what he's concerned about. You know what I mean? Obviously, this is my welfare we're talking about. I do feel fine. I don't feel, You've
already told me what he was concerned about, and that concern was in relation to Facebook and passwords and all that side of things, basically.
Me to believe that you sent out a 4x4 dog van on 2 occasions and a Hilux vehicle to my home address, travelling 5 miles across the countryside with 2 fully clothed police officers to come and investigate my Facebook page.
No, we're not investigating your Facebook page.
Well, we were. That the 3 times that I've had a visit from the police has been related to Facebook allegation.
It's been related to that. Yeah. So it's as simple as that. So I'm going to terminate the call because there's nothing more sinister than that. So I'm going to terminate the call because we're just going around.
Well, are you interested in investigating Facebook then? You just told me it was about my welfare, and now you're saying it's Facebook that you're concerned about.
It's in relation to that, Brody. So I'm just going to terminate the phone call.
My welfare, because if it was Facebook and you